Hi there, welcome to another Super Deluxe Edition unboxing video. Today we're going to look at Neil Young's Archives box set Volume 2, which came out late last year and followed up his original box set, which was from 2009. Now I should point out that the Archives Volume 2 box, what we're going to look at is the Deluxe Edition box set. Those of you that might have been following what was going on, it was very kind of complicated and contradictory for a while, but effectively Neil Young released this Volume 2 Deluxe CD box set on his website. Only 3,000 copies were available worldwide and they all sold out within 24 hours, much to the annoyance of the wider Neil Young fan base, who felt like they hadn't been given a decent opportunity to buy it. What then happened was Neil Young said, look, we're really sorry, but we don't think it's fair that we say that this is limited to 3,000, everyone goes and buys it, and then we produce some more. We don't think that's fair. So what we're going to do is we're going to say sorry about that, but we're going to produce a retail version, which is cheaper, but you still get the same content, but it's not as deluxe. So that seemed to be what was going to happen. And the retail version is scheduled for release in March. But then Neil Young, for whatever reason, decided to backtrack on that. And he decided, yep, okay, then you've talked me into it. We will do another run of the deluxe edition of Volume 2. But to not kind of piss off the people that have bought the 3,000 limited edition too much, we're going to make some slight changes to the artwork, which turned out to be, where it says Volume 2 in black here, on the reprint version of this it's going to be in red, and that's basically it. And he did promise to send people that have bought this edition a letter of authenticity or something confirming that they've got the first run of 3,000 blah blah blah. I haven't seen mine, so I don't know if anyone's got that yet. So it was all a bit messy, to be honest, and kind of complicated and really kind of confusing. He kind of blamed his record company for underestimating demand. But anyway, so what's happening is the 3,000 have been dispatched around the world, so that's one of these. And in March we've got the retail edition, which is about half the price of this, £125 I think. But also in March we've got the actual second run of the deluxe version, which will have the red Volume 2 on it. So there's a couple of things going on. If I put this down, what you'll see is this is the Volume 1 box, as indicated by the writing, fairly straightforward, and this is the Volume 2 box. Now they look the same, but they're not the same, because when Volume 1 came out there was 3 different versions. There was a 10 CD version, there was a 10 DVD version, and there was a 10 Blu-ray version. At least I think there was 10 Blu-rays, maybe there was less, I'm not sure, but there was 3 formats basically is what I'm trying to say: CD, DVD, Blu-ray. And only the DVD and the Blu-ray came in this kind of style box. So what you're looking at here is a DVD box, not a CD box. So what did the CD box look like then? Well, let me show you. So this was the CD box for Volume 1, and this is the CD box for Volume 2, so you'll see there's quite a big difference here. This is a bit of a weird box set, I'll be honest with you. It's kind of, it's a long box like that, and then, I mean, it looks quite good here actually, I suppose. That's quite good. But the long box folds, and then there's these little doors, and, you know, the CDs come out. I don't think it's the most elegant solution, but I think, as you will see, I'll show you quickly what the DVD box looks like, but I think they made them like this so that they could put them in the bigger boxes, which you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So this is the original Archive Volume 1 DVD box, and also the Blu-ray box looked the same as well. So they've used this packaging for the CD version on the second box. Now it's a bit of a weird shape. I mean, it's actually really impractical. So much so that this has been sort of hidden away to a certain extent for me. It hasn't really sat with most of my music. But let's just have a look at how it works. So it's got this lift off lid with a little tab like that opens like that, and then inside, so this is where it hasn't been quite so good because this has fallen apart a little bit over the years. But inside you've got kind of 3 or 4 sections here with things in them. Okay, but the music part of it is in the same kind of box as the CD set. So if I pull this, so one of the sort of design flaws is this doesn't come out that well, but anyway, so the same packaging that the CD box was in is within this box here, so you can see it's the same sort of design, and that slots into this slot, but it's not very good because it always gets caught when you pull it out. You see this is cut here, that when you pull the CD box out it always ends up catching on this, and I think this has got damaged over the years, so you can see it better there actually. But you try and pull it out, and because it's got this bend in it, when you're pulling it out it always ends up catching, so it's a very bad design. The same with the book here. You see there's a book here. This book, you can never get the bloody thing out because it's always, you know, catching on the edge. So I'm just going to pull this to one side. Okay, so here's the book that you get with volume 1. It's a kind of, don't think it's leather, it's sort of leatherette, kind of leather style thing. But it's a soft back cover, and you know it's nice inside. It's very nice. But so this is one of the reasons you're paying all the extra for the deluxe, because you do get these nice books with it. But again, the design is terrible. There's another slot in here. There's a sort of second slot next to where the book is, where you get this thing, which is the kind of poster of the archive. You get another one of these in volume 2. That's that. And I mean, much to my kind of embarrassment, really, I was looking at this the other day, and I thought, oh, what's this? Yeah, so I mean, look, this is all falling apart. It's terrible, really. But I only noticed the other day, bearing in mind I've had this for 11 years, this drawer was in it, and you open it up and then you get Sugar Mountain, which I already had separately. Sugar Mountain was one of those ones where it was a repeat. You get this little pad. So this is a download card with the obviously his online archives hadn't existed at the time this came out. But anyway, so I didn't even know that existed, which I know is stupid, but what can you do? So that goes in back like that. The book goes in here. I know it looks like I'm mistreating this a bit, but honestly, the damage has been done. This thing has just fallen apart. And that goes in there. And then these are the DVDs. So just to show you that these are definitely DVDs, and I'm not messing around. So you can see there the DVD logos. They're the DVDs. So these DVDs slot back in here. That's the volume 1 CD box. So this looks very much the same. This is volume 2 now. So this looks the same. So does it have the same design? Does it have the same flaws, if you like, of the original deluxe box? Well, let's have a look. So I'm pleased to say they've made some improvements, which not everyone will necessarily agree that these are improvements, but I think they are. So the first thing is, it's a hardback book, and it sits much higher and sits proud of the gap that it slots into. So if I take this out, the book comes out relatively easily. It's a kind of nicer cover. It's a hard cover. Obviously it's made to look like it's an old dusty library book or whatever, but same kind of content inside. It's just sturdier, really. You can see at the back it's got the same kind of detail around recordings. It's very much the same kind of book, but presented in a different way. I think this is much better. So that slots in here, and then it also includes the same kind of poster as before, so you get that. This tells you all the names of the tracks, etc. So that goes next to the book. It hasn't got its own separate slot this time. Now, of course, because this time around there is only the CD box, there isn't a DVD, there isn't a Blu-ray, so they didn't really need to match the packaging of something else. So what they've decided to do is forget about the mini box within another box. They've just put the discs straight in. You can see there that there's 2 slots and 5 discs in each slot effectively. So that's how that works. So then it's just a matter of going through the content and everything. And Neil Young's long been an advocate of the gatefold card wallet. That's his favourite kind of packaging. Surprisingly, maybe there's no inner sleeves. You might have thought he would have done an inner sleeve for the discs, but there isn't. There's no inner sleeve, there's no booklet or anything, because obviously you've got the big book that goes with it. So that's disc 1, Everybody's Alone. Disc 2, now this is one of the ones that's already been out, and I know everyone feels a bit frustrated that he repeats stuff that's had a standalone release. It is annoying, but he did exactly the same thing with the first volume. We can't really pretend to be too surprised about it. So this is disc 3, Tonight's the Night. Roxy, Neil Young live at the Roxy. Again, I think this is one of the ones that's already been out. And then Walk On, which this is obviously On the Beach outtake. Obviously this is era based rather than specific album based. But there's a lot of stuff from On the Beach here. Motion Pictures, On the Beach, Revolution Blues, Vampire Blues. So they're the first 5 discs. So they go in like that. It's the Old Homestead, 1974. Homegrown, which has been out, of course, quite recently actually. So this is the kind of Zoomer era. Look Out for My Love, 1975 to 1976. And then finally Odeon Budokan, the live performance. And of course the good thing about, I mean you could do this with the other one, but the good thing about having the disc separate like this is you can just put the box somewhere else if you want, and just put these on your shelf like that. Just forget about this box. Probably the most practical solution, but it does make you kind of think, well, what's the point of me buying this big box? Don't forget the retail one has the same audio, it's just a sort of reduced packaging. First I thought with the retail edition they were going to copy this and do this style, but it's not that at all. I think it's much more traditional. It's probably a little square box that doesn't fold and looks a bit like this, and then it'll have a small booklet in instead of that big book. But we'll wait and see. I'll do a video when we get the retail version. So whether this is worth the 220 quid or whatever it was is sort of up for debate. It's kind of, I know it's Neil Young and everyone loves Neil Young, but it's definitely over-engineered for 10 CDs, I think. Because this DVD box looks the same as the CD box, I felt compelled to get this just for consistency's sake, even though, as you can see, this is not weathered too well on the inside. But I hope this has been an interesting look at the Neil Young Archives box set. Please keep holding the music in your hands, and if you've enjoyed this video, why not subscribe to the SDE YouTube channel. But for now I'll say thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.